Hey guys, Stephen, the Salon Guy here, and I got a new haircutting tutorial for you guys. I got a new request for Jaime from Pierce the Veil, which is a pretty hardcore band, but they're pretty cool dudes. And so, let's get started. Alright, so for this haircut, we're going to create our baseline, and everything is pretty much, you know, he's got his hair, a lot of these guys have their hair in many different styles. I mean, there's ones from years ago, there's ones from now, there's, you know, they have it shorter, they have it longer. So I'm going to do one where I found, which was pretty cool, which his hair is basically all one length, a little bit longer in the front, just really kind of wild and out there, but very texturized and thin. So what we're going to do, what I really wanted to start off right here. Okay, right off the bat, we're going to start right here, and we're going to take our first section, pull it straight out from the head. Now let's cut this about where I'd say we're looking at about 1.5 inches, probably more like 2 inches out, straight out from the head. Okay. So there's the look right there. Actually, let's take it a little bit shorter. So we're looking at 1.5 inches to 2 inches in length, all right? And that's going to be the same length throughout the whole haircut, pretty much, and maybe a little bit longer in through the front. So what I'm doing, I'm again literally following the head shape. Now I'm going to change hand positions, and now I'm going to cut palm to palm, which allows me to get a little bit closer, and I'm going to follow the same exact guide that I've been using, pulling it straight out from the head. And I notice the hair, you're going to see longer hair in the bottom, but you're eventually going to cut that off anyway. Pulling it straight out, and we are cutting palm to palm, and there we have it. Okay, so what that's going to allow us to do literally is spike everything straight out from the head. Okay, all the same length. So everything is going to be able to be worn out like this. So I'm going to do one more section, and then I'm literally going to do the whole back of the head like this. So I'm actually not over directing at all. I'm just pulling everything straight out with the traveling guide from my previous section. Okay, so here we go again, towards the bottom. And then switch hand position. You can switch over this way, come on top of it, again cutting palm to palm. There's the guide, just using the thumb like that, and going through the very nape here, and we can just get rid of that right through at the bottom here. Now you're going to see some longer hairs, obviously, because we haven't cut this yet, so you might get some coming over. But the key is to get all this same length throughout the whole back. So let's finish this, and then we'll start with the top and the sides. Alright, I've done the layers. Now what I want to do is cross-check everything and also keep the balance right, because when you're pulling everything straight out from the head and you're styling it straight out, everything has to be actually it has to be really even, you know? So what I'm doing is I'm just literally pulling everything straight out from the head, and now I'm cutting horizontally, okay, just to check my balance, and I'm going to work my way up throughout the head. And you do this simply by going section to section. As you can see here, I'm starting at the very bottom. When you're at the bottom, not really much hair is going to be cut, okay, but you're doing this just to really balance. Then you start to move your way up. There's the next section, okay, pulling it straight out. And if if everything was pretty even before, you should be fine. But this is definitely going to help, especially with the styling, so that you can keep things even as far as the style goes, and it's all proportioned and balanced. So again, I'm working on this side, the right side of the head here, pulling everything straight out from the head, and we're just cross-checking to make sure everything is even. Okay, I don't have, just cutting little bits here and there, not a lot. But I want to do this because when I style it, this will ensure that everything is really, really precise and very, very even. Okay? So continue to do this throughout the back of the head. And again, if you do see pieces that are, really uneven, that means they need to be cut. So don't be afraid to cut it. Now see what happens? it creates a very even shape in through here. All right. So you can even lift it up like this, and then go into that section and cross check. All right. Now we're working into the top. So we have our guide from before, okay, which is there, and we have to connect the back in through the top. So we're going to do that by cutting towards the face just to blend everything in. And then once we have that, we can then cut horizontally, which is going to, again, keep everything nice and even. If you see pieces that are a lot longer, then cut them. That means they need to be cut. Okay? You need to be cut in order to style the hair properly. So now let's move towards the front here. All right? And what we're going to do now is we're going to work horizontally towards the face. So I'm going to pull everything up. I'm holding it probably, I'd say, about 1.5 to 2 inches or so, the most, straight up from the head. And what I'm going to do is work towards, in this panel here, towards the front. All right, taking a section from a guide from your last section and cutting straight across. Again, this is going to keep the balance. It's going to keep everything nice and even. You're not cutting into the corners yet. You're just simply working towards the face. So let's continue and follow this pattern all the way to the very front of the head. And then when you pull it straight back, in the front, because of the hairline, you're going to actually probably naturally over direct back anyway. So it's going to leave it a little bit longer in the front, which is totally cool. Alright, now we're going to work on the sides, and what we're going to do is take a piece here, which will be our guide, and now we're going to work our way from the bottom, which we had our guide previously, and now we're going to cut straight up into the corners here, cutting that off. Alright, so let's continue to do this throughout the sides, and we're working towards the face now. Alright, again, pulling it straight out. Now we get into the corners here. There we just have that little corner to cut off. Alright, push that hair out of the way. When you're cutting this, you're gonna have a little bit longer. It's not gonna be over. It's gonna hang over the ear a little bit, which is totally fine, because I know in some of the styles he has it where it is over the ear. So that's totally cool. Okay. So again, we're working towards the face here. There it is, and working towards the corner. There's a corner it needs to come off, so everything is balanced. Okay. Probably get one more section in through here. Working our way up and cutting the corner there, blending it in. And then here's our last section. Okay, it's probably going to end up being longer around the sideburn area, so that's how these mannequins are. But let's take a look and see what we got. Well, actually it worked out pretty good, because I know some of his styles, he's actually got a longer piece towards the front. But let's just take this up just a little bit here, and then we can spike everything up this way and out like that. See? There we go. I'm gonna do the same exact thing on this side, and then we'll be ready to style it. Alright, so styling wise, I'm just gonna put some gel in this and run it through, and then when I blow dry it, I'm gonna blow dry lifting everything straight out with my hands, just like this, just to get everything kind of evenly spiked out, and especially throughout the top. And then when we're done, I want to go in and actually go with the thinning shear and just texturize a little bit, just to thin it out a little. Alright, so here we have close to being done, but not yet. We still have to texturize and thin out the end. So I'm just going to go with the thinning shear, and I'm just going to start halfway and just continue to kind of close the blade, working towards the tip of the hair, just to give it a little more texture and just to thin it out quite a bit. So I'm going to do that throughout the whole head, and then when we're done with that, I want to actually go in with the smoothing iron and just straighten this a little bit more right into the front here, and just go throughout the pieces with the iron, because I think that in order to get the hair that straight, you have to use a smoothing iron or a flat iron, which some of you might not know what that and they might get confused, but a smoothing iron is a flat iron. So I'm just going to continue to do this, flat iron it, and then we should be done. Alright, I used the flat iron to smooth it out a little bit, and now I'm just going in with a hairspray just to kind of hold this, and I'm bringing this down a little bit forward this way, just kind of working my fingers with my the hairspray at the same time, simultaneously, just to kind of add a little bit of texture and mold it in. Alright, so again, this is all just kind of really playing around with it here. You know, again, some of the newer styles I've seen, you've got it shorter. You know, I know you guys on YouTube want to see more extreme kind of stuff, but I like bringing extreme whenever I can. Alright, so again, the more you spray this, the more it's going to bring out the texture, and it's really going to make it really working a lot easier. So you want to use a smoothing iron on this, and then also use a hairspray, but also your hands at the same time. But this has a lot of texture to it. Alright? So here is the finished result here, as you can see. Right? You can kind of piece that out if you want. Here's the back. I know you guys all want to see the back here. There it is. Alright, it looks really cool, I think. And again, you can texturize that, piece that out a little bit more if you want. And there's the top here. So I think this looks pretty awesome. It's a pretty rad haircut. Definitely a cool look. Alright guys, there you have it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I had a lot of fun doing it. And you know, keep the requests coming. You know, sometimes I get backtracked because I'm away filming for other things and I'm traveling. So I don't get to respond right away or get to do the tutorials as soon as I can. But keep them coming. Thank you for all the comments. You're all so kind and supportive. Don't forget to subscribe. Got to get my subscriber numbers up. And also on my social media. If you guys want to follow me, that's awesome. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you soon.